Right, so we're going to take a look at Ankr in this video and do some price analysis. I've been absolutely harassed by Sonic in my DM, so it's definitely time we jumped onto this project and have a look at a few key levels that we could target as an investment opportunity or even some TPs, because as you can see here, we've had quite a substantial retracement from the highs to the lows. We have done a 78% drop from the top, and we have made quite a good recovery so far. But what we'll do is have a look at a few key levels, where we could invest or where we could potentially open a trade, swing trade, whether that's short term or long term, and then we'll have a look at some take profits on the way up in both the USDT and the BTC pairings. If you're new to this channel, then please make sure that you are subscribed, hit that like button, and let's crack on. Right, I've never actually covered this project before, as in terms of just a sole price analysis video. So we'll just run over some of the key stats, see what's going on there, and then we'll jump over to some price analysis. So, Ankr, which is ticker ANKR, currently has a coin price today of 10 cent. Maximum supply 10 billion, currently in circulation 7.6 billion. As you can see up here, it is an ERC20 token, so if you're looking to have a look at the Explorer, you can click Etherscan and have a look what's going on. As you can see, the full amount of supplies there. Actually, it's currently got 26,000 holders, had 373,000 transfers. Take a look at holders, you can see what's broken down. 23% is in the contract address there. Nothing too drastic, nothing to worry about there. Going back to the stats, I just want to have a look at the all-time high that we did previously. Click on overview, scroll down to the right. We have it 21 cent. Back in April, that's when every altcoin was absolutely flying. Before we did have that atomic bomb that dropped on cryptocurrency. But we're only 50% away from an all-time high. So in terms of stats, happy with those. So going into price analysis, Ankr USDT daily time frame. Let's have a look at a few things first. So we're going to mark up the all-time high, which is there up at 21 cent. Like I said, I did say at the beginning of this video, we had dropped quite a substantial amount. That was 78%. Nothing to worry about there. The entire market did that. I think that some altcoins even did a 90% drop. But from them lows to the current highs, we've done 135% recovery. And again, most assets look like that. Throughout this entire bearish period we have been trading underneath that moving average 50, which is a bearish sign, coupled in with a money flow down here, which is in the red. So that just showed to me, if you're ever looking to open any long positions, I would never open a long position when we are trading below the 50 and money flow is in the red. The best time I would consider opening a long position is when we are trading above the 50. Just move that out of the way. And then look, the money flow did turn to green there, and that would have been the best time to open a long. As you can see, we've been down and tested at 50 a few times, no closures underneath it, and then bang, we're closing underneath it and we started dropping to the downside. But now, things are starting to look a little bit bullish, aren't we? I mean, if you look at this, money flow is just tinkering on turning green, so that shows that there are more buys and sells and more money is coming into Ankr, and we are trading above that 50 now. There's a good chance that cryptocurrency on the whole may get a retracement at some stage. I mean, I mentioned in this morning's Bitcoin video that September is notoriously a bearish month for crypto. Might not happen this time. I mean, historically, it has always had a dump in September, nothing too major. But there's always that possibility that it could drop. If we did drop, I would see no daily closures under this 50. I think if we did wick below it, it would just literally be a wick down and then a pop back up. But looking at this entire move now, I mean, I want to look at it all really, from the very bottom to the very top. If I'm ever looking for potential buys, you know me, I love my Fibonacci levels, and if I'm looking for a buy zone, I would target here. I mean, this moving average 50 now, I would presume it's going to start climbing up nice and steady. There's always a possibility that we could come down and start trickling down this way and then go back up. But for me, I think the entire market's starting to look okay. I can see this plateauing a little bit before the next move. So if you're looking for buys, potentially, if we do get this drop, I'm expecting, might not happen, but I could be talking bollocks. We could drop down and you could pick some orders up here at around 8.8 cent. Or even a bearish scenario, even if we do get a bit of a drop, you could pick some orders up here at around 7.4 cent before we do push on. Because ultimately, I do think we are going to push on. So just look at potentially placing some orders if you're wanting to buy into Ankr. Ladder some down maybe from 8.8 cent all the way down to around 7 cent within this range. Like I said, I don't think we'll get a daily closure below it, but definitely we have a possibility that we could get a sharp wick and then a push back up. So it buys from 8.8 cent down to 7.4 cent. Money flow just turning green there. And again, if you're looking for a trading position, maybe look at potentially opening along from this region here with, I don't know, a 5% stop loss. Let's move over there. A nice 5% stop loss on that, which is about... Where's 5%? I'll have to zoom right in. 5% is at around 7.1 cent. Look at potentially open at around 7.4 cent and then go back up and target those previous local highs. So that's a bit of a trading position there if you're looking to trade Ankr. Personally, I don't do much trading. I'm more of a long-term investment position. If you manage to get some orders down here, then I would be at least waiting until we did reach some new all-time highs, because ultimately these all-time highs are here to be broken, and I think it will happen over the course of the next few months, leading towards the end of Q4 this year. So that's some buy zones. And then if you're looking for sell zones and you're looking to take profit, let's just drop onto the weekly time frame and see if we can see any areas of resistance on this time frame. So you've got one level there. If you look at this wick here and that wick, two confirmed in the same area, that is a level of support there. So this is now resistance. So if you're looking for take profits on the way up, this is very close to that -2.7 level. So if we drop back to a daily, sell zones for me would be around this region, up at around 12 cent, 12.3, 12.6 cent. If you're looking to accumulate, maybe look at targeting sells here. Not all your stack, but a good part of your stack. Look at selling 10-20% here. Hopefully we get a pullback, buy some cheaper, and then ride on for the next level of resistance up there, which is probably around 14-15 cent. You can see that probably looks like a region to potentially target there as well. But what I will do is, if we do break this region, give me a shout in my DMs or give me a shout over on the comments of this video, and I'll jump in some more price analysis. So a couple of buy zones and a couple of sell zones there at around 12.3, 12.6 cent, and then up at 14.6, 15 cent could be a next area to look at targeting once we do break through this area of resistance. So that's that pair covered. I'm just going to cover it on that daily time frame. I'm not going to drop into any lower than that, to be honest. I think that will do. As it is the first video on this channel, we'll just stick to the daily. And then the BTC pair, I'm a little bit hesitant about the BTC pairs across the board, not just on Ankr, but I think that potentially Bitcoin may try to regain some market dominance. If it does, Satoshi pairs may drop a little bit. You're probably sick of hearing me saying that, but I just think that could be a potential scenario where we've what could happen. We are trading above the 50 now on the daily time frame, and we are sat at around 223 Satoshis. Looking at this entire move here from the bottom to the top, look at that golden ratio. So if you look at this as a bottom move, that is the top of the move. We've come down, tapped the 618 3 times, and now we are pushing on. If you're looking for buys, I would still target that area, to be honest. I think I'd target 204 down to about 200 Satoshis. I think that could be a decent level. But I would have some cheeky orders. Honestly, I would look at targeting some down here. As you can see, that was a yearly open. Oh, no, it wasn't. That was the start of that major run. We've tapped that area twice, even could call that 3 times, so it does show that there's a solid area of liquidity down there and demand at around 165 Satoshi. So bang some orders in down there. You never know, you might get lucky and you might pick some up at 165. But I think if you're looking short term, I think 204 to 200 could be a decent area. That just shows how good those Fibonacci levels are. And usually the 382 or the 618. The 618 is the most preferred because the golden ratio is the clinical, really the pinnacle, should I say, of all investment levels. And then if you're looking for sell zones, you can look at these extensions at 268, 296, probably around 300. We'll mark it up there, probably about 300 there. So you can see support, rejection, rejection, rejection. I'm going to tell you what, I'm just going to box that off instead, actually. We'll get rid of that red line. Sometimes you can't get them so accurate, but as you can see, a lot of rejections off here. Around that 300 Satoshi area, so that's probably a decent level for you to look at taking some profit or using it as an accumulation region. So that's going to do it for today's video. Just some basic selling and buying areas for Ankr in the USDT and the BTC pairings. Nothing too in-depth there, but it will just, if you're looking to accumulate, I think that's all you need to know. Just some key levels where you could buy and sell, because ultimately that's what we are looking for. In terms of, do I think we're going to break out? I'm not too sure, to be honest. It all depends on Bitcoin, what that does. Bitcoin's currently up at 46k. I've got a couple of scenarios here, which I'm looking for Bitcoin to potentially target 51k before we get a sell-off. Maybe not down to this region, but I'm looking for a rejection at 51k. Might bring us back down to 43k, 41k, or, I mean, that golden ratio is there, isn't it? Or then back to that monthly open in August, but I think that would be very, very bearish. But let's just monitor price and see what happens. So that's going to do it for today's video. If you're new to this channel, please make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that like button, and I'll catch you next time.